But we got Drippin' Honey in the building. How are you doing today, girl?
I'm doing well. How are you? Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, look, the first thing we talked about when you got here is that you spent some time in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
Everybody in Detroit is talking about Georgia because they like the collaborative efforts of the artists in Atlanta. You were only there for what, roughly a year?
Yeah, it's going to be a year on Halloween.
Okay.
It's going to be a full year.
But you're from Michigan.
Yeah.
You're from Detroit?
7 Mile.
Okay, for sure. What made you decide to move to Atlanta?
For a lot of different reasons, but more recently I lost my mom, so like it was just like I just needed a new scenery and just to see something different because like everywhere I was going in the city was just making me sad and so I just needed to go somewhere else.
Okay.
Just to clear my head.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, so before that, you know, you were in Detroit and everything like that. When did you start the music career?
So the gag is that, like, you know how like you be rapping in high school and stuff like that and doing your thing or whatever, but like, I start taking it serious once I start putting my own money behind it. And, you know, once you start paying for stuff and really, you know, paying for promotion, paying for this, paying for that, I'm not going to take nothing as a game if I'm putting my money up. And you know what I'm saying? That's why I respect a lot of people, too, that does music because people think, it's like, everybody just want to rap. Like, this costs money. Like, shooting a video costs money. Recording costs money. Buying a beat costs money. Getting your hair done costs money. Like, everything costs money. So it's not like people just be like, oh, my God, I'm about to rap. And everything just comes free after that.
Yeah, and I think TikTok and stuff like that is giving people that hope that they can just sit at the crib and record over a beat. And, you know, that was a wave that happened and it can still work. But real professional artists, people who actually want to take themselves seriously to the fullest, do more like, put more effort like you're trying to do. Talk about how you got motivated to doing that. What made you want to start making music?
After I left Jamaica, like last year, and I flew to Atlanta after I left Jamaica, and then like my friend, he owned Culture Currency beat or whatever, and he was like, they need a girl on this song. They need a girl on this song. Well, I'm like, I was just going to the studio to buy weed. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there. I'm like, okay, and so I don't care. I'm like, just give me my weed. And they was like, no. But I got in there and I got on his song. This dude named Scoop from Indiana, and like, I was just like, it's over with. Like, I just didn't stop after that. I just kept on going.
So you just enjoyed that particular moment. Like, it was a spark in you. Like, this is something I love doing.
Yeah, and then when I left Atlanta and I went back to Detroit, I called 1-800 and then I called Taylor Bentley. That's my cousin too as well. And I was like, can you teach me how to make a song? And she was like, yeah. And we pulled up to the studio, but I just walked in the studio. I didn't know, like, I thought people just go to the studio. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I didn't have a beat or anything. And 1-800 just like, okay, like, what you want me to do? I'm like, I don't know. I thought people just come to the studio, but like, they just taught me how to build a foundation, how to write a song, how to do this, and just literally, it's a business you have to learn. Like, people just think people just start rapping this, whatever. Like, you literally have to learn things, learn a whole lot of shit.
Yeah, there's a lot, especially in Detroit. You know, one of the biggest reasons that there's a spotlight on Detroit is because the authenticity of the music is there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you're rapping in like New York City about the same stuff, it's not going to be.
And then it's Motown though. That's how I feel. So I feel like for other people, it's different for us because we are literally Motown babies. Like, people, aunties and uncles 67 years ago would give up everything they had to move to Detroit to get a career, to come to Motown and really get their start in life. Like, it's in a lot of us already. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it might be in the water. You know, it might be in our Motown water. Like, you never know, but we all have that. Like, you know, we have that connection to music anyway because we from Motown.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Talk about a little bit of your upbringing in Detroit.
So I'm from Detroit, West 7 Mile, 4219, same house for years. Niggas never slide. But yeah, I'm from 7 Mile, whatever, like that. And I mean, I had a great upbringing. I have a nonprofit called Social Privilege The Neighborhood, and it's called The Neighborhood because I really believe in the neighborhood that I came from, that I grew up in. And me growing up, I thought that my neighbors was my family. Like, I wasn't just like, this my neighbor, like my whole block, like everybody in that neighborhood, we all knew each other. It was just like more of a family, you know? So that's why I created my nonprofit, and I do certain things within my nonprofit, like give away free clothes, do resume for people that have felons for free to help them get a good job and things like that.
Wow.
So I do my tutoring too. I have a tutoring business, and then also do it virtually if anybody need help with that. But the whole point of it is because I care. I'm a teacher. I'm the first person in my family to go to college. and to graduate. But once I graduated, I had the idea once I graduated, and I went to the University of Memphis, so I went to school in Tennessee. But once I came back home and I started teaching, I worked in Oakland County, and the students was just so advanced, and I still stayed in the same place I was at. So when I came back home after working, and I was working with these other kids, and they were just so far behind, but I would work in Oakland County. These kids were so advanced. That's why I created the nonprofit, because I'm like, these kids in my neighborhood need the same resources that these other kids have, and just to build that gap, because like I wouldn't know they was lacking either, And it's like I always had a dream or idea and stuff like that, but I feel like when I graduated college and I walked across the stage, that's where I felt like I just got my wings, and I was just like, oh my God, I really could do anything, So that what brought my nonprofit, Social Privilege the Neighborhood. Once I got back to my neighborhood, seeing how the kids wasn't as advanced as the kids I was working for, on my regular job, and just like I need to bring those resources back to those kids, because it's not their fault that they just didn't know about a lot of certain things that I do, but it's just like I didn't know either. I had to go to school, I had to learn it, I had to do this, but it's just, you don't fault anybody for what they don't know. And I just want to build that gap between the kids that are lacking and the kids that, do a lot. And when I was working on Oakland County, I was doing a lot like canoeing, advanced archery. I was doing a lot of classes, and I was just like, I never did those for myself. I was just telling the people I did, but I never did myself either. But it was like, if I wouldn't have did what I did, I would have never got those experiences to bring it back home.
All right. So it's kind of like a giving back thing based upon your experiences that you think other people should have, and that there's just a lack of funding or maybe resources to have that happen.
I mean, who really have did some advanced archery? You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. Like, I went to advanced archery today. Like, ain't nobody just saying that or doing nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know either, but I act like it because I feel like it's nothing I can't do.
So in your rap songs, you're not talking about drive-bys with the AK. You got the bow and arrow on that motherfucker. So, that's a good idea for a music video. No, if you ever do that, let me know. It's copyrighted now.
Okay.
Now talk about, you're a businesswoman, obviously.
I'm the big CEO, push it in motion. I put a nigga on, he ain't got no motion.
Now that helps obviously manage your music and manage the artistry.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the balance. Most people don't get both sides. Either you're an artist or you understand business. Talk about how that helped you become an artist and how it helped you manage yourself.
I feel like any business or anything you be a part of, you should know the business you're a part of, because that's the only way you can level up and really get ahead if you try to learn and move forward and actually know what's going on. Because everybody says it's not about making music, making music, but once they say that, see what the other things it's about. You have to learn. You have to get on that search of, okay, if it's not about that, what else? And you just have to be willing to learn. And when people tell you something, like, elaborate on that. Google it. Like, literally, you know what I'm saying? You tell me something. You're not going to tell me something, I'm just going to believe it. I'm like, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to Google it first if I don't know it. But that's good, too, though, because I feel like I really should not know nothing if I could just Google it. You know what I'm saying? So if you tell me something about this business, this and the third, I'm gonna do the research.
Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of people don't take the time to figure it out. But the entertainment industry is one of the hardest industries to break into because there is no real blueprint. Yeah. I guess you could watch some YouTube videos, but you really just have to meet people and get the experience at the end of the day.
Not even YouTube, just like when people tell you stuff like you meet good people that's in certain places and they say, well, look out for this, watch out for that, make sure you do this, copyright that, do that. You just be like, okay, noted. So what do I have to do that? Google, like, how do I get my songs copyrighted? How do I do this? You know what I'm saying? Just learning what you have to do to make sure your music is golden.
Right, and at the end of the day, like you said, to get that return, because if you're making all this music, but you don't have the business back end side, you could just be making this for no reason. You could be paying all this money for no reason if you don't have the back end. And I don't believe nothing
nobody tell me anyway, so I'm going to try to learn it. And I'm going to try to learn it, and like really get the tea on like what's going on, because it's just like people can tell you anything. That's why I was like, I just don't believe it. So I need to read up on it, for myself.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, upcoming in Detroit, obviously, you said you had a pretty good upbringing and everything like that, and then you kind of had the motivation to get into teaching and educating and doing these nonprofits. That was like the first thing you established yourself independently doing?
Yeah. Like, as soon as I graduated from college, I did my nonprofit first. Okay. Did my nonprofit, and then after that, I opened up my swimwear business.
A swimwear business too?
Yeah.
Damn, so you're just doing everything. Your hands are everywhere in that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how long has it been since that point where, you established these businesses until now that you've entered artistry?
What was the question?
How long has it been since the point of where you established all of that till now where you became an artist?
Well, I like established my business like 2018.
Okay.
And I like went full force with like my music last year.
Okay,
like
cool.
August of last year. So it's been like a complete year. I haven't took my foot off nobody's neck.
What? I love that. Okay, let's talk about the beginning processes. Obviously you go to your friends and you start working and making this music. What's the beginning stages like for a female artist?
I don't know what the beginning stages is for everybody, but for me, I'm very impulsive. Like, and when I like something, I want to do something, I go full force. So by the time I thought in my head I wanted to rap, I already had a whole bunch of songs done for my friends and families in here anyway. Like, I get right into it. Like, I don't wait. Like, you know, and when I have an idea, I be ready to like bring it to life right then and there. Cause I be like, what's the wait? You know, I'm like, okay, so I want to rap. Okay, so nah. And then once 1-800, everybody told me that was the last time I ever went to the studio unprepared. You know, so like. Every time I go, I'm prepared. I'm working on, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing stuff. I'm just making songs and I'm doing what I got to do. And once I move to Atlanta, I start shooting my own videos too and editing them myself and stuff like that. Just cause,
damn,
just cause I hate like 2 to 3, 4, 5 weeks, 8, 10 weeks turnaround on your video, and I want to shoot it like, you know, shoot it. And I might have a concept of what's going on right now. Like you never know what's like going through my head. So I'm like, I just need to learn how to shoot, edit, and do everything myself for the simple fact that I don't feel like waiting on y'all.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Shooting a music video and then getting it back is like literally can be a 2-3 month process.
Yeah,
sometimes.
like I want some shit for Halloween. You gonna tell me I might get it back after? Like, yeah, it's not really working out with my plans and what I'm trying to do. And I'm not trying to pay an extra $350 to get it tomorrow either. So yeah,
that's always man. I used to shoot music videos, but I used to be that guy who used to get them late, and like it's just cause. And
I know it's a lot once I sit down, but I'm like, it's mine. How many
times do you send it back and say you need to change this and change that and change this?
Well, all the people I work with, like, they're awesome. To where I really didn't have too many changes. I'm like, okay, I really haven't too many changes. Like seriously, and I work with Urban Outrage Productions, Rich Town Magazine, GMT, me, and I think Yeah, I think Urban Outrage shot most of my videos though.
Okay, cool.
Shot most of my videos.
Talk about the female hip hop scene right now in Detroit. Now, for me personally, like I know I always get heat for this, but there's not that many female artists that are standing out. Like there's like 100 male artists that stand out, and there's like I'm not gonna say how many female artists that are standing out.
Well, I feel like they probably don't stand out to people because like people not really paying attention to what a female doing, and y'all think this a joke and it's a game, or she just pretty, she just trying to figure out trying to do this, and like maybe they just showing their artistry. And I just feel like a lot of women don't get taken seriously, and a lot of people just think they like. Some people are Instagram rappers. They're just doing this for Instagram, like, but people don't really see all the work you really put out outside of that. You know, even when you do build content, you really can't post every second of everything you doing to let motherfuckers know I'm not playing. It's not a game. I'm really out here doing this and the third.
I agree with that to some degree, but also at the same time, when you hear music, isn't it just like, all right, that's heat, then that's not heat?
It's so many people rapping, so many people though, like you can't know everybody, and that's another thing too. Like it's so many people, like you'll find a new person every day. Like damn, she from the city, damn, he from the city, but you're not gonna know everybody either. And I don't think people take the time out to like really look through somebody's catalog and really listen to their stuff, whether it's a girl or a female, because sometimes people just be thinking, oh, girls talking pussy. But like, you don't know if she got a little scheme with the pussy or however she did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to listen to the whole thing. I see some people are just judgmental. Like, listen to the catalog. Like, when somebody's CD drop, I literally listen to it from beginning to end. Like, you know what I'm saying? Seeing they flow, how they change it up. Like, how was they feeling? You know what I'm saying? She might get in her feelings by the end of the CD. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Or the end of the mixtape, but...
Okay. I mean, I see.
I don't think women just get a fair chance out the gate.
But the thing is it's like the same thing we just said though. It's like if you go to a restaurant, right, and somebody gives you a meal. If you take a bite of your food and it's not good, then you're not gonna eat the rest of the meal, right? So it's kind of like, whose fault is that? So it's just like with music. Like if I'm hearing something and it sounds good, I'm gonna keep listening to it. I'm gonna subscribe to whatever you're doing. Yeah. But if it's not heat, then it's not gonna happen. So it's like. Fair chance is a weird way to put it, just because everybody's pushing their music the same way. It's just like, is it heat or not? Yeah. Now you just said like women are all rapping about the same, relatively.
People think people are.
So you think the other tracks are the ones that we're missing out on? So we're hearing the ones that are gonna go popular, but not the back end.
Sometimes like social media platforms. If a girl really popping her shit, or she talking that freaky shit, like, what you think y'all go listen to more? If you don't know her already, like, if you know this girl, she's been rapping and you already know for her, you know, her lyrics, she's very lyrical and shit like that, versus somebody new. It's just like, you know, I feel like a lot of females be trying to get that attention first. You know what I'm saying? And then once you get in, like, okay, listen to this other shit I can rap.
Right, I agree with you on that. So they're using it as the forefront, like to say, like market themselves because you know it's gonna get the most attention.
Yeah.
But then it's like, hey, listen to my other music because that's where I talk about my emotions and other stuff like that and whatnot. What is your music's? Where does your music stem from? Where does your lyrics stem from?
Everywhere, like everything I done did, everywhere I done been. I done been like all over the world. I did a lot of things. I done flew to Paris. I got my own perfume. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of things, and I've been a lot of places. So it's just like it's nothing I haven't not experienced, and I done been with people with all type of walks of life. You know what I'm saying? No matter where they from, and we have connected and just build relationships. And I'm just a smart person anyway. Like, you know, it's really nothing I can't do.
Damn.
You know.
All right, shit. That's crazy. Like, it feels like there's so many things you do, and it sounds like you do them all very well.
Yeah. Like, I'm very adventurous and impulsive. Like, I just do literally whatever. I do exactly what I want to do. I have so many ideas, and I work on my ideas till I bring it to life and show people. Like, I do a ladies' night cipher every month as well. So, and I started that once I moved to Georgia, and it was just because once I moved to Georgia, I had to connect all the pieces, like find my studio, find my engineer, find this, find that. So I'm like, if I build a platform to where I can have all these women from everywhere, because everybody in Atlanta, a lot of people is not even from there, you know, so you got girls moving from New Orleans, Brooklyn, this, that, and the third, and I was just like, we could do this lady night cipher, and it's not just really about rapping, for us to have a domain where we could come together, because we are women in the industry, where we can have somebody to talk to and feel like, oh, I've been in Atlanta a year, I feel like the stuff not taking off for me, how do you feel? And just, you know, be the crutches for somebody, you know, just for each other, because it's already hard enough as a woman as is.
What ideas do you see like kind of recycling when you get all the ladies together and that are making music? What's like the main points that always get brought up?
Growth, literally growth. And I love working with other people because like a lot of these ladies I've seen, I'm like literally a fan. Like I seen them at a showcase, like how I build my brand. I would go out to these showcases looking at these girls and see how they interact with the crowd, what they do. You know what I'm saying? And if I like something, I like something. So I done went up to all these girls individually like, hey, I like your music. I want to work with you. I want to do this. This is, you know, this is what I got, you know, whoop-de-whoop. And it's just like, they bring so much to the table as well. And when you see other people work, I realize that I'm more apologetic when I'm in the studio. And it's not nothing wrong. I'll be like, you know, I'm like, no, let's delete that and do something else. But this one girl, Pretty Lion, and she's from Brooklyn. She's like, no, fuck that, scratch that. Come on, let's get it. But she showed me like, I really know how to be that apologetic. So I be there like, no, yeah, let's get it like this, let's get it like that. But it was just, and there's nothing wrong with being apologetic. It's just like, girl, you ain't got to say my bad to everything, you know? And it was just like, let's get in your bag, like, and just seeing other people, how they work and what they doing. Like, they help, even though it's my business and stuff like that, my organization, but it's still like, I'm learning as well too, you know. So if I'm learning, I'm getting that growth. You really just don't know who they learning from as well, and it's for everybody to learn with each other and to just be better.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree, and it's obviously because you're still a baby in the game that, you know, you're gonna be apologetic because you probably still haven't. You probably
no, but I'm not a baby in the game, and I'm not apologetic like that. I'm just nice, and
you've only been making music
bad.
for a year though.
But yeah, I'm not really a baby. You know, I didn't make music.
I'm not saying you're a baby, but I'm saying that's early. There's nothing wrong. Why do you think all these rappers call themselves baby? You know what I mean?
I just don't feel like I'm a baby though.
Not a person in the music scene. Yeah, a baby. Your first years, you're still new to it relatively. Yeah. Now maybe you're running it right.
Just because I was like, you know, like timid or anything like that. It's just like, even if I like, but I'm like, my bad. Like I'm always just like, my bad. I'm sorry. You know.
Yeah.
You know, where I should have been like, yeah.
You just get into it, right? Yeah. Atlanta and Detroit right now. Detroit looks at Atlanta and says, you know, we need to collaborate. We need that effort. We need to build together. Now you've been in the scene. Are you seeing that? Do you see both sides of the story?
I just feel like anywhere you go and you see somebody you want to work with, and a lot of people just like, you got to pay me for this, you got to pay me for that, you got to pay me for that. And, or just how you said, a baby in a game. Like if I want to work with somebody, I want to work with you. You know what I'm saying? If you, whatever your price, I'm going to pay that. But I feel like the difference from what I'm seeing is that I'm very vocal, like who I want to work with. If I see you, I'm supporting you. If I'm going to the showcases, I'm sending people like, hey, you, oh my God, you can sing. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's work. So it's just a lot like you got to like talk too, you know, you got to do something too. It's just like, you can't just want everybody to collab. Like, who do you want to collab with? Talk to them, hit them up, reach out, do this. You know what I'm saying? See what you can do. Everybody working with everybody budgets. Like, you just have to be vocal. You know what I'm saying? People be like scared to talk to people or, you know, and tell them like they like their stuff and they want to work with them.
Well, yeah, in the perfect world, that's kind of how it goes, right? Like if you want to work with somebody, work with somebody. But in Detroit, everybody feels like there is this, like, you know, if I help you out, you could get bigger than me type approach. And they're saying with Atlanta, it's more of a collaborative thing. Like, even if you do blow up, that's a good thing. Blow up and then we'll go together. And even if we blow up and you go up and you don't pick me up, that's still cool. Either way is cool. But in Detroit, it's more like, yo, I'm not going to bring him up because if I do, he's going to outshine me. Now, with you getting both sides, you live in both cities. Do you see that more in Atlanta? Do you see the collaborative effort, or is that kind of like
I do see the collaborative effort more in Atlanta, but I just feel like for me, I see it a lot in Detroit too, because it's just about, I see it too. Like, people be reaching out to me. Everybody reaching out to me. I say, let's go. I'm ready. Let's work. Okay, let's do it. Woo woo. Like, so these people reaching out to me too. So I just don't see them not helping other people, want to work with people and not want to collab and do that, because I'm seeing that they are.
Okay.
And I'm seeing it down there as well. It's just different people from more different places. They just not from Detroit.
Okay. What hurdles have you had so far being an upcoming artist?
Just people trying to play you, people feeling entitled to what you're doing, even just for some advice, like, fuck your advice. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, like, people, like, half the time you literally, shit people say, like, they don't even have nothing. They just be talking and talking and talking. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, just stop talking to me. I don't even know what y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, got this shit in a bag. Like, that's, like, the biggest hurdle. People just, everybody has something to say and don't even know what the fuck they talking about. Especially people that don't even do music. They just like the most people that got something to say, you know? Like
people trying to control your destiny a little bit, or trying to tell you what to do and what position to put yourself in.
It's different if somebody have an opinion about what you're doing, but people just be like, especially with this social media, people feel so entitled to everything you do. Like, I'm going to tell her this. She's going to listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck your opinion. You ain't got to tell me shit, you know? Especially if it's not good or if it don't hold no weight. You know, if I'm telling you something and it's holding substance, these people just be talking. You don't be holding no substance to it.
No, I can see that too. It's like you got to get your information from people who've accomplished themselves. Yeah. They're more so the people that you can get some good advice from.
Yeah.
And sometimes people will misdirect you intentionally too. So
I just tell you dumb shit. And I told you I don't believe nothing nobody say. And I Google it. So even when people say shit, and I can hear like put people on blast, but I just let people talk. You know what I'm saying? I just be smiling. And I just let them talk because I'm a Google it anyway. Like, yeah. Like, whatever. Like, you know, it's on some like whatever. But yeah, like they be just talking shit.
Yeah, like I met somebody and they were offering me all these opportunities. And then one of my friends knew him. I called him. I said, you know about this person? He said, yeah, he's a piece of shit. I'm like, oh.
You know, you got to make one phone call. Like, and I just be letting people go with their stories. And I just be like, he or her just really sitting here just saying this just because, like, that's wild. Like, you got to be a wild boy or girl to do that.
That's the crazy thing about the entertainment industry, because there's like, you can make a lot of facades and fake a lot of things. So you could believe that somebody's accomplishing so many different things. So you kind of believe them. And then you realize, like,
they don't even have a car.
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
Yeah, like, motherfuckers be having like, you don't even got a whip to go to the studio. You got so much to say. Like, and that's another thing. Like, as a woman, pay for everything. Pay for everything. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Pay for everything, you know, because, like, people will try to play you. Like, soon as people start, even like somebody start retweeting your shit, that's a celebrity. They were like, oh, I be giving you a discount. I be showing you a deal. Woo woo. Like, I never asked you for no deal, bruh. When I asked you how much it is, and then you told me, that's what it was. But people think because you're a female, you crazy. I keep all my receipts for everything. Anything I ask for, or can I do this? Any studio time, I literally didn't pay for it. I don't want shit for free. No, ask me, can you want? No, I got it. I'm straight. Like, I'm good, because people try to hold things over your head, which I don't ask for anything anyway. But like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Like, people always feel like because they helped you or did something for you that you're obligated to do something back for them.
this is not pay for everything. I don't care. I want shit. Oh, and I'll give you one for free. No, you can keep the free one. I'm straight. Like, nah. Yeah. I don't want, nah. I'm paying for everything.
Working in the studio, I know a lot of female artists will come on here and say working with male artists is kind of difficult because, you know, the male artist always has something else on his mind. Yeah. And how do you manage that?
You always have to set the tone. Cause I even work with people like I knew, and I'm like, I wouldn't have thought he would have did that, you know, like the weird shit. People will blast, but I'm like, I wouldn't have thought he did that weird shit, whatever. But you have to set the tone, like, nigga, I'm not that one. You know what I'm saying? People really do. They be acting like they don't listen to the songs. People talk about this, and they do. Do you see what you say? Your lyrics are there? Is it real? You really do that? They're like, shut the fuck up. Like, that's corny. Like, as somebody like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not. Just because a girl says some freaky shit on me, like, you just gonna walk up to me, I'm just gonna be freaky. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was in the studio, bro. I was making a song, and I was on that, you know? But like, you know, and the people you gotta set the tone, like, a nigga alone. Just set the tone, because it's just like, I'm not her. You know what I'm saying? Find out, it's some hers like that out there, just find her, and y'all can do that, but I'm not her. Like, no. Yeah. You just have to set the tone. It will be somebody you've been working with for a while. It don't matter, because at the end of the day, they go try it. It'd be like they go try it eventually.
I feel like setting the tone is difficult because it's like you want to relax and be relaxed at the studio, but you also don't want that wall to be broken down where the person thinks that they can just, you know, reach out. It could
be at the studio, at the video shoots. It's been at a lot of places. Like, I can think of a lot of places of where it been, where it was just some weird shit going on. And it's like, I had to just let some niggas know. Because you just can't just, I had to let some niggas know, like, this not that. Like, you know, put it on the floor. And it's like, man, then everybody think you crazy, whatever. And it's like, I'm not here. I don't like to make a scene. You know, it's not everybody business. I don't put it on the floor like that. But, like, you gonna know, like, this not that.
Yeah, for sure. And even like if you're even women generally speaking, like married women at a grocery store, even in that case, you already know, like, don't fuck with that girl. Like the way she's walking, the way she's moving, the way she's not looking at you, don't approach that girl.
Literally. That's why I'm like, how could you ever? And I just be asking some motherfuckers, like, who are these bitches y'all be talking to where they just be letting y'all get away with the things that y'all be saying and doing, like, and half of them, I'm just not even being mean. Half these first, some of y'all are just not a bitch type, you know, like, and when I say not a bitch type, it just be the uglies really that be trying it. It just be like, and I'm not even being mean. You trying to hit on the bitch and you ugly. Like, calm down, relax. I don't even like you. You're not even attractive.
She's talking to me right now.
No, I'm not talking. I'm not talking. I'm just talking about some people, because niggas be thinking because they in this music thing and they got this and they got that, but call me a little shadow. You ugly. I'm straight. You know, you ugly. I can't, like, come on now.
Yeah, it's like disrespectful, right?
Yeah, like, seriously, this is like, how could you ever? I'm like, who the hell do you be talking to? Like, do it look like I'm not even being mean, bro? But you ugly to me.
Now, managing, you know, let's just say you blow up next year. You become like a successful, like super successful artist, mainstream and everything like that. Are you prepared for that type of lifestyle? Do you want that lifestyle, or is your goals not as, like, to be worldwide? Like, do you like local, or what do you want out of it?
I want to be everywhere. I'm worldwide everywhere. I didn't know where I done been. I done been all over the world, anywhere, just on my own, traveling the world, doing things, opening up businesses, making perfumes, doing a lot of different things, making swimsuits. It's like, I want to be everywhere because that's where I'm at right now. Like, I'm always everywhere now, so I want to keep that going. And with my music, it's just like, I make really good music, and it's my personality, it's me, you know, and it's fun. It can be all type of different emotions that people going through, and I feel like everybody around the world can get that. And just traveling and finding new people to just talk to from different countries and this places. Like, when I just went to Jamaica and I was with these guys that rented the tour buses and stuff like that. They're from London, and they was like, put some Peezy on, and I'm like, and they was literally from London, like their accents, I couldn't believe it. And when they said Peezy, I literally was in my head, I was like, what? But I was looking straight ahead, because I'm like, we ain't talking about that. I'm like, they not talking about the same Peezy I'm thinking in my head, but no, they was talking about Peezy, like word travel, music travel. You don't know what nobody like all around the world. You don't know what somebody like, you know, so definitely global, because you don't know what people like. And I've been in places where I'm from Detroit. I done met some people from London. They talk about playing Peezy just because where I told them where I was from. Like, y'all listen to Peezy in London? You know, and that's just crazy to me. And it just opened up your eyes. Like, you can do whatever you want. You don't know who's listening or who's doing what.
Yeah, no, that's insane. I didn't know they were listening over there. Like, you're right,
Literally, they was like, play some. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, what the fuck?
That's crazy as fuck.
It was like a culture shock. Like, we had so much in common, but they were just from London. You know what I'm saying? But we literally was vibing and had so much in common.
When you look at what's happening in Detroit, obviously the spotlight's here. Everybody's being paid attention to. The rap scene's blowing up over here. And you're over there in Atlanta where it's already kind of established. Would you want to rather become successful in Atlanta or become successful in Detroit? And I know it's kind of a weird question. Yeah. I know it doesn't really make a difference. But when you rep which area you're making the music from, what would you prefer people talk about?
Detroit for sure. Like, you know, that's like, this is my home. Like, and I still got a house here. Don't get it fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I went to Southfield High, but I ain't live there. Like, Detroit for sure. But like, and that's the thing, like, from my experience, Detroit people, when we go places, we let it be known I'm from Detroit. Like, I'm not walking around that bitch like I'm from Atlanta. Like, motherfuckers know. Honey, she from 7 Mile. She's from 48219. Like, motherfuckers know. And you go other places to put on for your city. It's not about I'm just going to Atlanta trying to make it big in Atlanta. I'm going to Atlanta. I'm from Detroit, and I'm trying to make that big. You know, just like I told you in my nonprofit, Social Privilege, the neighborhood. This is about the neighborhood I'm from, too, because without them, I wouldn't probably be the person that I am if I grew up somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Or if I just had something different.
Yeah, I feel that totally. Yeah, Detroit, I mean... I can see that, and you feel like you feel like Detroit. Yeah. Like, talking to you feels like Detroit. Did you have friends that kind of took different paths and everything like that? And did they ever look at you and go like, well, that's like big sis the way she did it? But it's kind of like, you know, just separated and things just didn't work in that direction for them.
Well, a lot of my friends does do different things or whatever, but like, they have stayed connected and very successful in whatever they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I really don't have no slouch, leeching, lackers around me anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's not successful and not succeeding in whatever they doing. Not saying people don't fall on hard times and stuff don't be, you know, going wrong. I'm not saying that. But, yeah, my team, my squad, the people I love have like a straight and narrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we copacetic.
Now, does that happen because of you that... you know, the people around you stay there, or is it like whoever was around you just ended up becoming successful? Or are you the scissors type person? Do you cut people off that don't make sense?
I will cut somebody off, but no, not like that. Like, I gotta cut people off. I'm not one of them, but it's like everybody around me, for the most part, is loyal. Like, I kind of on my hands how many people I really actually had to cut off that just like had to get from around me. But my people are vibe. What we do, people love us. It's not just like we ain't just dropping people. Everybody that surround me, I done knew from a baby. Like, we didn't grow up together. It's just like ain't nobody that really left from, you know, that's around me. So I really don't have too much of that.
When you're working in the scene, I'm sure you're like, you know, you're selective of who you work with. You're selective of who's around you in your life, just like you talked about your personal life. Was there ever a moment in your life where you like looked at a situation and said, wow, I really got to pay attention to who's around me?
Yeah, like I'm very attentive and I listen to what people say. So like, it just be like, you know, if somebody say some ham, slime shit, just like, I'm like, oh, I got to stop fucking with you just by how you talk and what you saying out loud. Like, you really gonna say something like that? Like, you know, it be like light work, but them people that's not even close to me anyway. But I really don't have to cut too many people. Everybody around me is golden. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no cutting them off. They not going nowhere. Like, you know, we got a mission and they support me. Like, when I do certain things and my family and my friends come, it just is like, it turned me into a superhero. I even get better. And that's how I feel. I feel like I get better when I'm around them. And I feel like vice versa. When they're doing something from, you know, because they have other fields and we all come and we support each other, they feel like a superhero. We get better and better and better. So I feel like that's how our relationships is with each other, you know what I'm saying? So just elevate and do better. Like, I don't have drama-filled relationships with people, you know. I have healthy relationships. Yeah,
it doesn't feel like it. I feel like, you know, a lot of people, that's a big distraction in music is when you have to deal with so many different personalities and stuff like that. But if you kind of cultivate the right people around you,
and then with women too, what I learned is that, and why I did my Ladies Night Cypher is just, once you don't know what you could do once you get comfortable, you know. And that's what I learned when I was in the studio, just making all these songs. Just like it was just a time where I'm like, oh shit, I'm comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I was just comfortable. So it's about that comfortability. Like, so that's why we go to the studio together, because I want you to even go harder when we apart, but you know, to build your stamina up when we together, for you to go harder when we not together.
What kind of advice would you give to a woman that kind of wants to head in your type of path? Obviously, you know, your success and you went to school and everything like that, and now you're managing music as well. Could you share some insight of how to get to that point?
You have to stay proactive. And when I say proactive, even like moving to Atlanta, like it was just a time where I was like, okay, I need to stop performing so much because I'm just doing too much when I go out. You know, you can throw away, you can do it. You know, so it's just like at the time it don't get proactive because you're doing too much for me. So it's just like stay proactive. Don't do too much when you get outside because you having fun, and really just like not really listen to what people say, but fuck what people say at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Because everything everybody say ain't good anyway. But don't be that person where nobody can't tell you nothing. Like, you could tell me stuff. I'm very coachable, but at the same time, be like, fuck what a motherfucker talk about, because I have the idea and I know my plan is working, and it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Why plan A can't work? I feel like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I be on. I just feel like every idea that I have is going to work. Like, why can't it? Why can't it not work?
Yeah, you're like an entrepreneurial mindset. Like, you're just up and go and stuff like that. Yeah. You know, a lot of do men find you intimidating? Like, do you ever like go on a day and a guy's like, "Damn, you're too successful for me," or like, "You're too on point. I need somebody dumb."
I mean, you know, niggas gonna play it crazy and lie anyway. Even if they is intimidating, then you just gotta be talking for like, oh, this nigga really a hater for real. He really intimidated for real. So, you know, trial and error.
Trial and error, right? Yeah. Just keep going. You just keep going on until you find somebody that's not.
They be hating. You can sniff a hater. It might take a couple days.
I've never been on a date with a girl and hated on her for being successful.
Man, I mean, you probably haven't. That's very good. Don't ever do that either.
But who the hell is doing that?
A hater. Somebody that hate on you. Like, somebody just like.
There's no man that hates on a woman. That like. I don't think so. Am I wrong here?
Yeah,
I'm about to make some phone calls right now.
Yeah, you're wrong. Niggas be hating. Niggas be hating. Bitches be hating too, though. Like, it's haters. Either they a bitch hating or it's a nigga hating. But people be hating. And I don't even know for what. Like, I don't know. They be their own personal issues. Don't drive your mind crazy. Worry about why they hating.
Yeah.
Because you'll drive yourself crazy. Like, why they hating.
Hell, you want to see a man hate on a woman? Watch her deny his ass. That motherfucker will go from being like, you so sweet, baby, to like, you
bitch, fuck you.
Bitch, blah, blah, blah.
You
don't think that because you're not that type of person. Like
Facts.
Yeah.
I can be that type of person. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Nah, I was waiting. Yeah, no, I agree. I see what you're saying on that. Hating, though, like, everybody goes through that, though. Everybody has a hating moment. Like, I know, I'm sure you've had one at one point in your life. You never, because listen, you have to look at that situation and grow from it consciously. Like, why am I hating on this person? No, I should not be doing that. So you're telling me you went through your whole life and you never hated on nobody, not even for.
I never looked at something and it made me sour. That's what hating is. Like, just like, no, that's not me. Like, I'm not a hater.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a hater. I'm a congratulator.
All right, shit.
I'm not hating on nobody. Yeah. Like, what is there to hate on? If they doing a good job, they doing a good job. Like, they look good. If the music fire, the music fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, why would I be sour?
Talk about some of the features and people you've worked with and collaborated with in your music that really stands out and people should check out immediately.
So, one of my favorite rappers that I did that I was just so happy about getting in the studio with is DR the Ruler. And that is my Honey Ali song. And I just love him as a rapper. Like, he's just one of my favorite rappers or whatever. So I was just very excited about that. So that's hot fire. And then my other feature is with Mickey, and it's called The One. And it's just like me and Mickey, I met her on we did a movie together because I was in a movie called Turnarounds. And it's just our stories are similar. Like, we both lost both our parents and stuff like that. So it's just one of our songs we got on there, we just talk about our problems, stuff that we've been through, but it's just like as women and overcoming them at the same time.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What's been your biggest milestone or accomplishment you feel like as an artist so far?
Being consistent. I feel like that's my biggest accomplishment because it was a lot of people that were just like, think you just pretty and you just doing something just because, you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing this just because, like, I really rap for real. I really shoot my own videos. I really edit my own shit. Like, I really get in the field for real and really work and really do what I got to do, have shows, have my Ladies Night Cypher where even my Ladies Night Cypher, I have a celebrity host to come out to, you know, judge us, do our thing. And on the last two, I had Bazaar and Calico doing, you know. So stuff like that. So it's just like, just being consistent and being in my business. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my business and I'm working on it and I'm elevating and I'm getting to where I want to go and I'm reaching out to people.
Very, very, very cool. I mean, this has been an awesome talk. You talked about the perfume brand too. I didn't want to skip on that because you brought that up like 5 times. What's up with it? Is it for men too, or is it just women, or what is it?
It's just for women right now, but it's a very fresh, clean smell. So if you're a man, you could definitely wear it. Like, it could be fresh and clean.
You know what, man? No, but seriously though, some women like just don't pick out they'll be pretty. They'll like, you know, you can tell that they know like, you know, how to get themselves together, but the perfume choices are just off. Yeah. Like I'm like, you're too floral. You know what I'm saying? You're too spicy. Like, you know what I'm saying? How do women figure out which type of perfume to wear?
So when I was working with the chemist, that's what I told her. I was like, I want a fresh, clean smell. Like, I just smell fresh. I don't want nothing too flowery, too powdery, nothing. You know, I was like, I want a fresh, clean smell. But you literally have to smell all these different everything. It's so much stuff. And you just write it down on your paper, like from 1 to 10, what you like, and you have to put it together. But it's just like the chemists do all the hard math stuff. And, you know, but, you know, I did take everything and got my chemistry on. You know what I'm saying? I got in the field or whatever. But it was really a dope experience because like, I really put my perfume together from scratch. Like, I did everything.
What did you name it?
It's called Lamornique.
That's actually cool.
Yeah.
What's that named after?
So like my name, like
that's
Lovely.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That's very cool. You should come out with a Drippin' Honey one too, though.
You know, it's in the works. You know what I'm saying? It's coming soon.
And it needs to be like in a beehive type shape perfume bottle or something.
Oh, you ain't gotta tell them everything because people steal everything I do. So scratch what he said. Y'all didn't even hear that.
This has been an awesome talk. Talk about projects you got coming out right now.
Well, I just dropped my mixtape June 2nd, Raw Honey. It's on all platforms, and I'm working on something else very, very soon for Halloween. So it's gonna be some dope stuff. But I can't really say because people really do be stealing my ideas out here. You know what I'm saying? So I can't get them all the sauce.
Yeah, people steal ideas. People steal girls. People steal everything. You know what I mean?
Hey, people steal everything. So it's like you just gotta give them a little bit. You know, and that's another thing I learned. You gotta give people a little bit because they'll take your idea and run with it because they can't think of nothing themselves.
That's fire. That's true. Tell everybody they can find you on social media.
At drippinhoney_music, and you can follow my swimwear business at drippinhoney_swim, and you can follow my tutoring business at Social Privilege.
I dropped out of school, so I'll definitely be on the tutoring website.
Go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
Yeah, I went to the University of Memphis.
Tigers like the baseball team?
No, like the college Memphis.
Oh, Memphis. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know anything about sports. I only know we have Ben Wallace on the Pistons right now. We have Rashid. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I really look forward to.
I was a sports major, so you can't be saying wrong stuff like that.
You didn't correct me though.
I said no.
I appreciate you seriously for being on, and again, like female artists in Detroit, like it's not that no male artist is looking at them like we don't want them to succeed. We do want them to succeed. The way you carry yourself is that of a professional artist, is that somebody who takes himself very seriously. So I do look forward to seeing what you, how big you become and how successful you become in the industry. Thank you so much for being on the show. We're shooting at Parallel Sound Studio, High Low Visuals, shooting Productions. I'm getting high slowly. We're out. Peace.